Andreas, floor is yours.
All right, thank you very much, Branko. So I have one simple promise to you. In 30 minutes, you will know more about junior mining than the CEO of an investment bank in my city in Munich. That is my promise, and I hope I can fulfill that. So the companies often go on roadshows, and I was at an event where they presented. They presented for 30 minutes, and the first question from the audience was, but do you have cash flow? Okay, so those companies are everything that is before you actually have a producing mine. This means, this person was listening to 30 minutes of company presentation, but could not understand what it was all about. And my promise is to you that you will understand that. How will I do that? So I will give you a map. So if you want to use public transport in Banja Luka, you probably you will use that map. If you want to go to a restaurant, you want to use that map. And I will give you the map for junior mining. So you have context and you can attach the information too. So I was traveling a lot with Michael. We always went to the resource conferences in Canada and, for example, to the Toronto Stock Exchange. So Toronto Stock Exchange, 40% of all mining companies are listed there, and the rest is in Australia. So this is why it's important. If you go to Canada, Vancouver and Toronto, this is where it happens. But in the beginning, I think first 50 presentations I did not really understand. That's my confession, because I didn't have a map. So I want to give you the map, and I also want to give you two frameworks, two tools that you can use to quickly understand if a project is worth your time. And this would have saved me personally weeks. Now I went through all of that. I want to save you that time, and I hope I can achieve that, at least some part of that today. Quick background of myself. So I worked for Michael since 2018, and I'm involved in junior mining investing since then. I'm an analytical person, so like I build Excel spreadsheets. Like I'm like financial modeling valuation analyst. This means I build like big Excel sheets for valuation. But Michael's background is the background of a trader. And as a trader, you have to decide within seconds if you want to buy or if you want to sell. You cannot build big Excel spreadsheets. So this was very important for me to understand. How can I get the information that I need to make decisions fast? And this is exactly what we want to do. So there's three big components. Like this is universal. This is not just for mining companies. First, you always have a project or an idea, right? Is the idea good or not? Then you have the company level. The company is the team able to execute on that, right? Because you can have a nice idea, you can have a nice project, but if the people doing it are not the right ones, it's not gonna work out. And then we have the market. It might be a very good idea, might be a good team, but if the market is not there, if you don't get the money or money at bad terms, you're still gonna lose. So this is the 3 steps how we're gonna go through this. First, we're gonna look at the influence and the outlook of the market, and then we go down to the project level. So then this is where we look at the stages of a mine. This is the map that I want to give you. And then we look at valuation stock picking. And because I believe you understand always better when doing, we'll do applications of everything that I'm showing you here. So you actually understand how you can apply that yourself. All right. So why metals and mining now? So this would be a 30-minute presentation. I would love to do that, but obviously we don't have time for that. So I give you just the 2 most important facts that we have that are driving markets. So China is selling US debt and is buying physical gold. So they're doing this since 2000. And at the same time, they're having a growing economy, which usually means you have more US dollars because you sell something and everybody's like holding US dollars for this. But they're actually selling since 2010 while having a growing economy. So this is very important. So I'd say like gold is money again, at least for China and like the whole BRICS countries. They're constantly buying physical demand. So, But what does this mean for mining and the other resources? Actually, the reason behind it is the same. So what we see here, this is basically, without this, no country can survive. And the whole USA and Western world is built on this. Without national security, without defense, it would not exist like it does today. Same is with computer chips, right? That's how the USA makes most of their money, technology, right? We need this. And also we need to manufacture it. What you see right next to it, rare earths, for example, then gallium, tungsten, this is just examples. Without those, we could not build that stuff. We don't realize when we have enough of it, but we realize when we don't have it. And this is why the world economy is basically all on materials and energy. And as I said, not a problem if we have it, but it's a problem when we don't have it. And it's getting a problem at one point in time. So China's actually having bans on rare earths. So this means basically we cannot build fighter jets, for example, that make security or like national defense. So we need to build up infrastructure to have security. And I saw that even also here in Bosnia, they're trying to build a pipeline that goes to the coast exactly to create that independence. So this is the two big drivers. So as I said, China is using gold to replace the US dollar as money. They've started doing this. They've started buying heavily since 2000, bricks since 2010. And supply chains, at least for some critical metals, are splitting in two. We have to rebuild this in the West. We don't have it. China controls for the metals I showed you, probably 80-90% or more of whole production and processing. So we have big potential demand, not for years, but for decades. This takes time. Okay, I hope I convinced you that why I think that it's a good market and which is now actually a time to actually be involved in it. All right, but how to monetize this? We can have all the demand, but if the project is bad, it's not going to make money. Bad projects always lose. And therefore, we need a map to navigate how to figure this out, which projects are worth our time. So, therefore, we need our map, right? So this, our map is going to enable us to know, okay, where is a company? Where does the company want to go? But also way more. What are the risks? What is the timeline, capital, and upside we need? If we don't have somehow a map, a framework where to attach those information, we won't remember anything. Okay, this is way too big to go through here. We'll do a simple breakdown of that, and you will be able to get a copy of that if you scan a code in the end. The whole question of junior mining is how do we get from this, a green field, down to there to actually having a mine? Like that's what it's all about. And this is in different stages. So this is our map very broken down. First, we need to find something. Where do we want to look? The earth is big, right? So we need methods to know where should we explore. Once we've found a place where we want to do that, we test it. In the beginning, very little. In the beginning, we might drill like small holes, and we might do trenching, so like a small tunnel on the ceiling of the earth, and then we do lots of drilling. With lots, I mean kilometers, and we really try to understand what is there. If we've done that, we want to define it. So by then, we really know how much is in there. So what is in there and how much. But this doesn't help us if we can't get it out profitably. So the next stage that we go through is to test the economics. This then takes in all the important factors. So can we separate the metals? And can we really get it out? And can we sell it with a profit? There is factors that are just the geology. Like if I take this earth, can I get the gold out? But then there's also factors with licenses and so on. Does the government allow me to do this? And we have this through all the way. So we always have to get the license. Am I allowed to do the drilling? Am I allowed to do this, to do that, to do all the studies that we need to go through those steps? Once we've done the economics, this is when we actually build a mine, right? So we create the roads, power access, water, all the stuff that we need, building a camp for the people who work there, like make this bigger, because there's gonna be quite some people. And then in the very end, once we've built it, we actually can start producing. So everything that is before here, a company does not have cash flow. And I hope by now you're getting the point. If you're looking at a company that is telling you only about this stuff but not about production, you will understand already in the presentation, okay, we're talking about this here. They're probably trying to go from here to here or something like this, and they don't have cash flow. Okay. There's 3 big categories how they name themselves. So in the early stages, usually this is called explorers. They're exploring where to go, and they're just like finding where it is. And then in the last step, where you really do lots of drilling and understand like how much is really in there, this is usually they're then called a developer. And developers, they also then do the economics. So they do the last piece of like drilling that you really know how much is in it, and the economics part. And everything after that is usually then done by producers. And this is like, you need lots of money for this. Like this can actually cost like $1 billion or more. So the companies that you will usually see is here in the beginning. And second hint, if a company tells you they're an explorer or a developer, you also know that they don't have cash flow because they're doing everything that is done before. All right. So let's get to valuation. This is, as we said, the 3 basic things that we have in every single company valuation. We have the intrinsic value, right? We have the geology, metallurgy, like how can we separate the metals and so on. Then also the permissions. But then we have company value, team, is the team complete? And how is the market? Like, is this a good price to buy or sell? Those are the different levels that we have. Why most people fail is because you do tons of research, but you're not seeing the important information. I have no idea if you have that saying, but in Germany we have a saying that you don't see the forest because of the tree. You go down the rabbit hole, but you're not seeing all the important information that are out there. So this is what we want to avoid. But how can we do this without getting lost in the details? So we want to start on top, right? Because we're not going to become a geologist, for example, within a few weeks. Like we just won't. We won't go and study that. In general, the goal is we want to like start on top, and we can learn on the way, as we always do. But how can we actually know the price without having all the like detailed knowledge on below the surface? So here's a fact that should be comforting. The billionaires, investors in mining, none of them is a geologist. They all studied business, accounting, commerce. So that's a good sign. So we're not behind from that perspective if we didn't study geology. Because like they proved you don't have to do this, right? You can become very wealthy without being a geologist in the sector. But we always need to find the right people. We've heard that a few times today already. So this is a theme, I guess, that doesn't matter where you do investing, to figure out the most important information. So obviously CEO and management, they're going to know the most about the project itself. And then you have like smart investors, and they know more about like the company value, and especially if the price is right. So our strategy is clear. We want to figure out what the experts that know more than us really think about those topics, because we won't be experts in a short time, right? But how can we actually do this? So this is what I call like knowledge stacking. We want to get the most important information from all the experts. So we really want to see the whole forest. We don't want to be too narrowed down, by looking just at the one tree. One way to do that is one of the best thinkers that we had in this world, Charlie Munger. He ran Berkshire Hathaway with Warren Buffett, and he always says, look at the incentives. So this is one key theme. How can we do this? One application. Don't tell me what you think. Just tell me what's in your portfolio. And we do this it's just follow the money. Like this is one thing. Remember, this is our tool or framework number 1. Follow the money. And what to do? It's just checklist 2 points. Like how much money do those people have on the line? And how much they paid in for that. So like, did they get their share in the company for free, or what did they do to get it? Because if you invest 500,000 or whatever, and you get that for free, it feels different than if you put in 500,000 from money you earned on your job or wherever. So it's therefore it's the checklist with 2 points, right? This just gives us the easiest indication ever. So like, we have tons of information, and it goes through the expert brains and translated into this price is good to buy or to sell. But then there's the obvious question: what if the brains of those people are not the right ones? So we really want to know, is it the right people? We're coming back to that theme all the time. Therefore, we have to use our tool number 2, which is look, who is the management? And there's one theme that is very important. Good people like to be connected with good projects, because if they're very knowledgeable in their sector, they want to be with good projects. So that is one thing. One key check to do is also, have they done this before? So like, if we have our map, have they actually done what they're trying to do this time? Have they done this before? This is all we can check without having knowledge on geology, right? And this is overarching for like any investment that you're doing. And does the team have the right qualifications? Okay, so as we said, with this, we're covering valuation, company value, and team. So we're touching the 2 upper layers with that approach that I just described. So we start there, and then we can learn the depth on the way. All right, so let's apply this. First step is always to locate the company on our map. We have the framework where we attach the information to. Then we use tool number 2. Who is the management? And then tool number 1, follow the money, right? Okay, so let's apply this so it actually stays in memory. Then I hope everything is clear what we've just described so far. So, disclaimer, everything I'm saying now is for education only and is my personal opinion. Please do your own research. Okay, now to the fun part. All right, so Pinnacle, Silver, and Gold. Their strategy is to bring old mines back into production. So you can see the one project here. That's the first one where they're going to do this. This is an old mine which has already been producing. It's here in Mexico. There's some tunnels where they already did mining. And that's the first one where they want to do this. Okay, so our map. All right, so first thing right now, actually, this might sound surprising, but they're right now in the finding stage, like officially. But they want to do testing in 3 months. They will have results for that. And in 12 months, they will they try to already be a producer. And this is very quick. They can do this because it's a mine that already ran. This means you can do this way quicker than you can usually do this. Okay, right now we are here. So quick question. Do they already have cash flow today? Who thinks yes? Please raise your hand. Okay, test question. Who thinks they don't have cash flow yet? Okay, all right. Seems like most of the people already got it. You're now officially smarter than I could keep my promise already to a few people. Oh, nice. Okay, let's keep going. So in order to do this, they need 2.5 million capital, and then it's possible that the cash flow that they get can finance the rest, which is very good, because like this is not usual in the space. Usually you always invest, like from here, invest. And this is lots of money. So like actually for getting this in production for that is very, very fast. The risks, obviously, they don't get the permit to do that. That's always a risk. There is not enough gold, and then the cash flow is not going to be high enough. Like gold price could go down. We never know what happens, right? Okay, so what could be the upside for this? This is just simple calculation. If they can do $2,000 profit per ounce and they produce 12,000 ounces, this means that would be like potential profit of 24 million, right? In the first year, they will have 50% of that because they have to like buy the whole project. Like this could mean a potential valuation of 200 million. Current market cap is like 15. So I see an upside of more than 10x. So like this is, as I said, my personal assumptions, like back of paper calculations. Would I be happy with 7x? Yes, I would be. But this is just like where I see that this can actually go. Actually, they are raising this right now. I think they published that over the last weeks. So if somebody is interested in that, I think you can go to Branko. Yeah, I'm personally invested in this company. Disclaimer. So yeah, so we've applied the first step, locate on the map. So then we want to use our tool number 2. Who is management? So is this guy. So Bob Archer, did he do it before? We want to check that always. He brought back many mines into production in Mexico, actually. So he proved that he went through the stages that we saw on our map. And so he's the El Potero project. Like this is what we saw before the picture from. It's just a 30 kilometers by car from there. So it's like same region. So this is also very good because then we know he knows how everything goes there, what you have to do in order to get stuff done. All right, so he did this before. He worked through all those stages before with the same strategy. Then tool number 1, follow the money. So what are insiders and experts doing? Bob Archer, like he's paying himself a salary that is way lower than he could earn at any other job. He continuously like put money in himself and he bought stocks in the market. Like he put in hard cash, which like checks our checklist. Michael Kott, biggest shareholder by now, he also like invested lots of money. So for this, I guess most important people that we see in there have strong opinion that we see in the different layers on the project side, but also from the market side. So opportunity with fast payoff potential, as I see there, because like if this is in production in 12 months, then there's going to be a very different valuation than what we see right now. Okay, second one, Zodiac Gold. Disclaimer, I also invested in that company personally. What they do, they are in Liberia. They do high-grade gold, and they have iron ore on the property. So they have 2 metals. So where are they? The timeline for the gold, they will publish the drill results to in the testing stage in 3 months, and they want to have a resource estimate in 6 months. That means that they really know for one certain aspect of the project, like what is really in there, how much is this, how does it look like. Quick question in between, do they have cash flow today or not? Okay, test question, who thinks they have cash flow, they don't have cash flow today? Okay, perfect. So, here's the important part of the story. There was a news result that Avisoro seeks to acquire the gold project of Zodiac. So this is a gold mine, and this is the Zodiac property, and they want to buy this. So it just makes sense for others to buy it, which is awesome because we have an exit potential for the gold part in the near future. Then the iron ore, there is a historic resource. So that means they are not allowed to like publish this, but others have worked a lot on the project. So now this is interesting. They did a magnetic survey. This is actually one of the tools that you use to find a place. So you can do, for example, magnetic survey. And you see this here, like all colorful. This means that the Earth there is very, very magnetic. And then this alone by itself wouldn't be that interesting. But what's interesting, here is an iron ore mine, here is an iron ore mine, and here is an iron ore mine. So it sounds logical that there could be something, right? I mean, it could still be that there's nothing, but the world's largest energy trader published this. the translation of this basically is they think that there really could be something worthwhile because like they don't sign those kind of contracts often. So there's something happening. All right, so we have extra potential for that too. Tool number 2, who is management? The guy is David Cole. So interesting thing here, I said you always have to see if they've done it before. But this guy, like, no mining background. Why am I still saying that this is a good thing? He got diplomatic experiences, built businesses, and he moved to Liberia himself. And for some projects, there are other things more important than like kind of done it before because you have to do other things. Like this is really high grade what we're looking at here. Important is here in a project like this is that you are able to make deals, and he proved that. So he proved that with having the agreement with Vital, biggest energy trader, and with the gold mine over there, right? What are those guys doing? So he lived there for a long time. I said he moved there. He's active there for and it was all financed by family and friends for many, many years. First public raise in 2023, and like he always accepted shares. So Michael as well in there. All right, so I see from that part also a check, and I've crossed it here because I said like here in this project, deal maker is very important, getting the right people on the table, and this is also relatively short term. All right, I will. Sorry, I have to jump over that one. Okay, so our framework. Please remember this. Okay, first you have your map. You see, okay, where is the company? Where does it want to go? Like you can simply ask management. Like that's the very first thing. Then you ask, have they done it before? And then third thing, follow the money. This is what you want as final proofing. Okay, so that is it from the explanation side. If you scan this code, you will get the whole map and the tools in more detail. I will send it over to you. I didn't have time to go through the whole thing. There you can read through it, and it will be very self-explanatory. Feel free to ask me questions anytime. I hope this helps you, and I'm happy to see that I could keep a promise that you understand the basic dynamics of this.
What literature do you recommend to people want to learn more about junior mining investing?
We recommend for learn more about mining research and through the road.
Okay, I don't have a book recommendation at mind actually, because as I described, the most important thing in the beginning is to master the first 2 layers. My recommendation then is to actually get somebody with knowledge, like if you want to get more into the details, to go through a company pitch. Like I can check my bookshelf and I can send through some books. If I'm a book guy too, I love reading, so I understand that question, and I'm happy to send something through. But my recommendation is to start with the first layers first and ask questions to people. That is the best thing you can do.